City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Rotorua District Council is urging local residents to be on the lookout for sulphur fires. DIY and trade painters are being targeted in a new campaign around responsible disposal of paint waste. And dog lovers prepare for this weekend's Dog's Day Out. Rotorua District Council is urging local residents to be on the lookout for smoke or fires at Sulphur Point and Ngāpuna following a number of small sulphur fires in those areas over the past 2 weeks. Sulphur fires are a natural event which can occur as a result of sulphur buildup, pushing its way to the surface and forming yellow mounds. Leaves and twigs from nearby tea trees accumulate on the mounds, and a combination of heat in the ground and the sun can ignite the dry material, which in turn ignites the sulphur. RDC General Inspector of Geothermal Peter Brownbridge says in the past couple of weeks there have been 4 sulphur fires in the Sulphur Point area alone. He says the reason behind the fires is still a bit of a mystery, although some patterns are starting to emerge. And he says people should call the fire service immediately if they see smoke in these areas. DIY and trade painters are being targeted in a new campaign around responsible disposal of paint waste. Called Don't Paint the Drain, the organiser Ricky Nelson says the campaign reminds painters that everything that goes down the drain ends up in our lakes. He says paint shops as well as Mega, Mitre 10 and Bunnings have brochures available, as well as displays of equipment trade painters can use to minimise environmental damage.
So if you're a trade painter, you should have something like this. There aren't any laws that state that you have to have this locally yet, but the future is you have to eventually have one type of unit that treats your waste.
Well, since there's no legislation about this, it's more about social responsibility, isn't it?
It is in a way, but ECANS down in Canterbury Christchurch have actually made legislation that you cannot access any type of work unless you have some type of a waste management policy, including a wash kit. So it is the future. It's cool. It's a responsible way of going.
Hospitality Association Vice President and owner of 1115, John Knight, says he's excited about the Eat Street development. The development includes a retractable roof over to Tanakai Street and underfloor geothermal heating. Mr Knight says the revamp of Eat Street is an example of Rotorua's innovative thinking.
During your time here, is this one of the biggest changes you've seen?
Definitely, it's definitely when they first closed the road and they put the planter boxes around, that looked cool. For the first 6 months it looked really, really cool. And then it started to get a little bit jaded and a little bit like, looked like somebody had been to a wedding and wedding guests had all gone and waiting for somebody to clean the place up. And so with this here, it is. I think that this would be right up there with when they first put the sails in the middle of the city and how different that was. And when they first put the cobbles down on the footpaths, I mean, that was a huge change. It was something that a lot of other cities have now followed. So Rotorua led with that, and I believe we're leading with this as well.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully it will be as successful as we anticipate. Any word on when it will be open? Okay,
the contractors have committed to us, all of us business owners, that it will be handed over to us on the 20th of December.
The Vet Plus SPCA Dogs Day Out is happening again this Sunday at Scion's grounds. SPCA manager Debbie Vandenbroek says it's a great day out for dogs and their owners.
Big day. It's organised by Vet Plus, our veterinary partner, and they put on this wonderful day. All proceeds come to us. It's $5 to enter your dog. Registrations are from 9:30 in the morning and the walk starts at 10:30 a.m. And where's
it been held this year?
It's held at Scion Grounds, which is in Sala Street. And there'll be food to buy, sausage sizzles, all sorts of dog things on. You can dress your dog, the dog that looks most like their owner. And yeah, it's a really,
That'll be an interesting one.
it is really good. The biggest bark, and there'll be dog agility displays and things like that. So it's a really, really good day. About 300 to 500 dogs come,
Yeah,
and there's never any fights.
And the money raised from that goes towards the SPCA.
Straight to SPCA, and it'll go to our dog desexing.
Now, the other good news is that your desexing program that's been going for a couple of years now, that's been quite successful. Give us an update on that.
Okay, our cat desexing, which we do with Vet Plus, has just turned over 1,000 cats desexed. And our dog desexing, which started a year ago, we've just done about 160 dogs to date.
In sport tonight, senior reserve grade cricket got underway at the weekend. 6 teams from Rotorua and 4 teams from Taupo are taking part in this year's competition. 3 games were played at Board Park at the weekend, with local teams Geyser and Central taking a win. Last year's competition winners, Rotorua Boys High School, have not entered a team this year. To your weather update now, Rotorua. Tonight, a few showers with northeast strengthening, an overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, Wednesday, heavy rain easing to a few showers, northeast easing, a high of 16 and a low of 9. And looking out to Thursday, fine spells and a few showers with light winds, a high of 17 and a low of 8. In the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Wednesday, easterly 15 knots tending northerly to 10 knots in the afternoon and then dying out at night with waves less than half a metre. Rain developing early in the morning with squally thunderstorms and poor visibility, easing to a few afternoon showers. Remember, for program listings and to upload your videos, check out our website tvrotorua.co.nz, or you can look us up on Facebook. Still to come tonight on City News, we hear about the Multicultural Society's biannual festival from Society President Alexis Lagoa. We catch up with Keep Rotorua Beautiful to find out about Graffiti Free Week, and Tanya Short has news of a new community tree project.
Well, anytime you think of multiculture here in Rotorua, there's one name that should pop into your mind, and that name is Alexis Lagoa, and she's with me today. And we're going to be chatting about this huge Global Fest party that's coming up, Alexis. So, for our viewers back home, 23rd of November is the big day down at the International Stadium. Just share with us what the day is all about.
Global Fest, the event is about, the aim of it is for us to transform a rugby stadium into a global village, and to also engage with the community, to be involved, especially the migrant or ethnic communities, to come together in one place and to share their culture with the public in general.
Wow, so when you say a global village, you're actually talking sort of like a mini World Expo.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
Imagine.
So how many cultures are you going to have there, Alexis?
We're having about 17 different cultures, which also includes Maori culture and Kiwi culture.
Because obviously they're definitely distinct, aren't they? They're two bicultural elements of New Zealand. So as an organiser of this, Alexis, this is the 4th one that you've done. It must be a huge job, you know, organising all these different countries and the different cultures and the different activities that are going to be on. So it's a big job for you.
Yes, it is. It's the biggest part of it is actually engaging with community, but moving with communities, because as people think it's quite easy working with communities, but when you have to move a multitude of people, you actually have to spend about 6 months in the community to engage with them, to share with them the vision.
Wow.
And usually it's so far so good, 4th year.
Now, is there a price for this? Do people have to pay to come along?
The admission fee, which is only, you can, on the days at the ticket booth at the stadium, so it's $5 for adults, $2 for school-aged children, and anyone under 5 is free.
So I'm guessing on the day there's going to be lots of party atmosphere, music, activities, and all that multicultural stuff that you'll find pretty much anywhere.
Yes,
Yeah?
You can smell the food, you can see the colours, you can hear the noise, the beat of the drums and the spices of Asia, all that in one spot. Imagine that.
I'm imagining it right now, so I hope I don't use my train of thought in this interview. So I guess the real big thing for you is getting the word out there so people in Rotorua can come.
Yes.
But it's not only just for these different cultures that dwell here in Rotorua, but it's for everybody.
It's for everybody. We have engaged with the schools, with all types of communities, all different communities, not just ethnic communities. We've also engaged with community organizations, which are not for profit. We've engaged with, say, businesses like Trade Aid that sort of have that multicultural angle to it.
Yeah.
So it's open to the wider community, but I'm also encouraging those community organizations that want to engage with ethnic and Pacific Island communities to be involved, to hold a supplementary site so they can promote what they do and bring that to those communities' attention.
Now, like I said before, you've organised 4 events previously.
Yes.
So three events previously. So this is the 4th one. Are you doing anything different? Have you learnt from the other 3?
I have learned from the other 3, and the one thing that I have learned is different communities, different ethnic or migrant communities perceive this to be quite different, so they want to bring their sort of taste to it. But what I want to do, what the aim of Global Fest is to actually share your culture in the same 6 different aspects. So when someone comes into the Global Village and look at a village, they can look at the cultural dress, the language, the food, performance, arts and crafts, and some traditional games.
Cool. That sounds exciting.
So yes.
Now, your ethnic background's quite diverse. So is there any particular culture that you're going to promote yourself while you're there?
No, I'm a fruit salad.
You're a fruit salad?
German, Chinese, Fijian, Samoan. You can't differentiate from them.
So you got your finger on a few different pies.
You just mix them all together. Create a festival like this.
Nice. Now, just recently we had the Filipino Festival here in Rotorua.
Yeah.
How much involvement did you have in that?
The Pistang Filipino 2013 sa Rotorua. Yes, I, in my capacity as the president of the Rotorua Multicultural Council, I acted as a mentor and advisor for a group that had a first hand at organizing this national event. And all I did was just stand aside, and when they needed some advice, they just turned to me, and I did that right through the administration. And I enjoyed that because then I also delved into how Filipinos work together.
Now, this is a big month for the Multicultural Council, Alexis. So 23rd November, Global Fest. 30th is the Christmas Parade. Is there anything else that our viewers at home might need to know?
One thing I'd like to say is no one in Rotorua should miss Global Fest, the event at the International Stadium. So bring your whole family, whānau, your entire neighborhood to the festival, because it's the only one of its kind held in Rotorua. We attract, say, up to 6,000 people. And the Christmas parade, you need to be there. Bring all your children down, and all your relations from outside of Rotorua come down. I'll be behind the Christmas float. So the Santa parade float, I'll be throwing out those lollies.
Nice, I'll be there. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Well, we know how unsightly graffiti is in our city, and the council are going to do something about it. They've got a brand new initiative that's coming up very shortly, and it starts on the 4th of November. And with me today is Rose Hiha Agnew, and she's going to tell us all about it. Thanks for joining us today, Rose.
Thank you.
Now, what's this new initiative that the council have got their claws into to help combat graffiti in our city?
It's focusing on different areas in our communities that need help, and one of the areas that we've identified is Manuka Crescent. So we're here at the tennis courts, and we've identified this wall here that we'll get together and clean it up.
Yeah, just looking at it from here, Rose, it's got a few battle scars.
Yes, you can see it's had past history. So through Graffiti Free Week and Keep New Zealand Beautiful, we are working with different organisations to clean them up and give them a really good paint job.
Now, you mentioned different organisations involved here. Who are they?
We have Rotary, which is quite a lot of different groups within Rotary, and conservation volunteers, and we have Keep Museum Beautiful and Keep Rotorua Beautiful with Rotorua District Council.
And the other one you've got on board is Resine as well. Now they're supplying the paint, so that's got to be a huge bonus.
Our key partner for this is Resine, and they have, we will be having drop sheets, paint brushes, paint for the wall. So for this particular wall, instead of going with the green, we'll be going with a nice grey. Yeah, so it's very fortunate to have Resine, who have quality products and also support the council quite a lot. We do have a very good relationship with them and their products and what they offer.
Now, I guess the really awesome thing about this campaign is only not here in Rotorua, it's also right around the country.
Yes, we have 5 cities that have been chosen, and Rotorua is very we've been very grateful that we are one of the first cities. So there's, I think there's 5 throughout the country. And hopefully this will be very successful, and we'll roll this out throughout as an annual project, as like clean-up week that we have with Keep Museum Beautiful.
Now you're obviously involved with Keep Rotorua Beautiful, and part of your role is obviously looking after things like this. Is there any scope for, say, some education programs to teach kids, graffiti's not cool?
Exactly, yes, we do have, at the moment we're setting up graffiti statistics through council. It's something I'm very keen to do, is that we will be logging and recording each, when say a resident rings up and say they have graffiti or tagging on their property, we will log that call, then we will be able to gauge through different areas where we have predominantly the most tagging, so that we can go in with the education programs in those areas in particular.
Now, not only this wall here, like you mentioned, in Rotorua is going to get painted and looking really flash and professional. What other parts of the city, have you identified any other locations?
We have, and through this program you have the ability to go onto Keep Museum Beautiful website, and you can log your own graffiti-free project, and so which means that you can create your own. You can find your own area, your own wall or fence, and then you can contact Resine and they will supply you with the paint. So it's a community initiative in community areas that everyone can access.
Now, I mentioned right at the start of the story, this campaign starts on the 4th of November. How long does it go for, Rose?
It's a week from the 7th of November to the 11th, and it's the 4th to the 11th, and we will be having this wall in particular is on the 7th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
So what's going to happen on that day is obviously you're going to get the workers down here and they're just going to completely paint it.
Well, it's all volunteer based. I will be here with our graffiti removal technician, and who's
that's a cool name.
Yes, yeah. Who will have all the materials, and so gloves, and make sure everyone is up to speed on health and safety for it. And you can come along and you can log your interest on the website on Keep Museum Beautiful, or you can contact myself at council and help out, because more hands, make better work. So.
Yeah, so if someone's wanting to get hold of you, just jump on the council website and they can find you there?
You can, and we also have just recently launched our new Keep Rotorua Beautiful Facebook page, so there'll be regular updates through it as well.
Good stuff. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Well, we're down here at the Rotorua Arts Village today, and they've been very busy. They've just had the school holidays. They had the Filipino festival just recently, and also they've received some funding, which is great news. Tanya Short, thanks for joining us today. Now, it's always good news, Tanya, when funding comes in. So where did the funding come from? What are you going to use it for?
Well, we were really lucky to get the very first lot of Geyser Arts funding for a public art project that we're running over summer. And it's decorating the tree out on the corner of Hinemoa and Hinemaru Street.
That takes your attention, doesn't it? When you're driving down the road and you see that tree, you can't help but look.
And it's a gorgeous tree, but it kind of hides us as well. And when your building is painted mustard brown, you need to do a whole lot of things to get people's attention. So what we've decided this year is that we're going to concentrate a bit of money and effort into decorating the outside of the building so it actually looks like an arts centre. Yeah, so
obviously that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's going to involve commission of a couple of murals for that wall outside there. But with the Geyser Arts Fund project, we're going to get some artists in to work with groups of the community, teach them some really basic knitting skills, and make that lovely tree warm for summer.
Interesting, I like to see that. Now, you've also got funding from somewhere else too. Now, that has to be good news as well for the Arts Village.
That's really awesome. I've had people actually sending me emails and ringing me up for a few months now saying, is the Open Studios project going to happen again over summer? And Rotorua Trust, they're so amazingly awesome, have decided to give us the bulk of the funding to run that project again for this summer. So we're actually looking for artists to apply at the moment for studios over summer.
Yeah. Now, I remember coming to talking to you last year about the Open Studios projects.
Yep.
So for our viewers back home, just explain that again, because it's probably one of the things that a lot of people don't really know about, especially up-and-coming artists here in our city.
Sure. Up-and-coming artists it's fantastic for, because basically all year the clubs use our building. So if you want to come in here and make a mess as an artist, it's not that easy. You've got to pack your things up at the end of each day, because we kind of, we rent the spaces out by the day or by the hour. And so just getting in, you get into the flow of making something and then it's time to clean up. So what we decided was, let's give it to the artists over summer when everyone's really relaxed, come up with a really good idea for a project, send it in to us on a bit of paper, and we'll decide who gets to use those spaces. And the really awesome thing about it is we've had international artists every year we've done it.
Fabiola was one, wasn't she, from Mexico?
Fabiola was one from Mexico, yep. Noni from South Korea is actually in Auckland at the moment and coming to visit shortly, and she just, raves about it, pardon the pun.
Yeah, they also get some money as well to run what they're doing.
Yeah, they get some money for materials and they get hounded by the public, and that's part of it. We kind of say to people, come in, have a go, talk to the artists, see them in action, do something, and so that's actually really an awesome part of it.
Also, just recently we had the Filipino Community Festival. Now, that was huge here in our city. There's Filipinos from all around the Bay of Plenty and the country coming here specifically to Rotorua to do the things that they do, the festivals and the food. So what was your involvement here?
Well, we were actually the Filipino embassy, believe it or not, for the weekend, and we had so many people coming in here, babies crying. I've never heard so many babies crying, coming to sign up for, things to do with their passports. And they had a huge food festival outside here, so there was all kinds of Filipino food, a lot of pork.
Pigs on the spit, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pork. Pork and black beans, yeah. So we had a lot of people through.
Now, we're coming up to summer, Tanya. Obviously, like you said, with the Open Studios project, what sort of things are you guys going to be doing over the summer period as well?
I'm really hoping, and I haven't wangled this one quite yet, but I'd like to have some kind of music event on the lawn, like preferably something that will fit in with the Hot Lakes Craft Market, fit in with the Open Studios project, a reason for people to come and hang out on the lawn, bring a picnic, listen to some music, and enjoy themselves. Yeah.
Now, recently, last time we came and spoke to you, actually, you're changing the name from Rave to Rotorua Arts Village. Yep. How's that transition going?
It's going slowly but surely, yep. Our website, everything, we've changed out all of our emails and the website address itself. And when people are calling us rave in public, we say, no, how about you try that again?
So it's about changing the public perception, isn't it?
Yeah, and letting everybody know that it's the Arts Village. And eventually, when we've gone through the Historic Places Trust process, we'll have signage that will remind people.
Good stuff, right. Tanya, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That was Arts Village Manager Tanya Short speaking with Alan Solomon. If you're setting off fireworks tonight, please take care and also remember to put your pets somewhere safe until after the fireworks. And if your organisation or community group has a news event that TV Rotorua can support, you can call the station on 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. And if you've missed anything in tonight's show and like to catch up on City News, visit our website. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.